Friends, and welcome back to your own cybersecurity channel, Cybersecurity Expert. My name is Pranav Sabne, and today we are going to see what is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So, that is CIA. So, CIA is said to be triad of cybersecurity, triad of information security. But what is security? So let's see about it in a brief. Security can be defined as either absence of or protection against a threat. A simple example, virus is a threat. So if there is no virus in the world, then you can say that your environment is secure as far as virus attacks are concerned. But unfortunately, there are viruses in the world. World means cyber security world. Viruses are there. So you need protection against it. So antivirus is a protection against it. So when you install antivirus, latest definition is updated on your desktop, laptop or server. You can say that I am protected. So security can be defined as either absence of or protection against a threat. IT security is subset of information security. If I am leaking out confidential information through IT system, maybe through email, then it is IT security breach. But if I am writing down the same information on piece of paper and I am giving it to some unauthorized person, it is information security breach, but it is not IT security breach. So IT security is a subset of information security. Security is never static. It keeps on changing. Threats keep on changing. New virus definitions come. So you need to have your latest antivirus definition. Security is never static. Threats keep on changing. Their probability will change. Vulnerability will change. Asset valuation from business point of view will change. So ultimately security will change. Security is never static. It is always dynamic. It is always changing. And you need to change your security posture accordingly. So security is a journey. It is not an ever ending destination. You can never ever say that I have reached the utmost level of security and beyond this point I do not need any more security. You can never ever say that. So security can be defined as either absence of or protection against a threat. So the topic of this video is CIA, confidentiality, integrity and availability. It is triad of information security. Triad of information security. So first element of this triad is confidentiality. Confidentiality means, in simple terminology, secrecy. Keeping confidential data secret. So confidentiality means preserving authorized restrictions on access and disclosure, including means for protecting personal privacy and proprietary information. So whatever personal privacy or proprietary or organizational important data, the data may be critical, the data may be sensitive, or the data may be critical as well as sensitive. So depending on business value of the data, you need to provide necessary level of protection. That is called as confidentiality. Only authorized people should be able to access the data and to a minimal level. If any user can complete his or her work only with read access, then restrict that person with read access. Do not grant write or admin level access. Provide write or admin level access only if it is absolutely necessary. Grant access only for authorized people and only till required time. The goal of confidentiality protection is to prevent or minimize unauthorized access to data. Only authorized people should get access to data. Authorized people should get access to data only for minimal duration. If project will end within a month, then grant access only for 1 month. Set the access or permission with auto expiry date. On 31st day, the access will be automatically revoked. And keep it minimal level of access, read, write or admin, depending on the business requirement. Criticality, sensitivity, secrecy, privacy and isolation are few of the aspects of confidentiality. How much critical that data is for the organization, how much sensitive that data is from legal and regulatory matter, what is the level of secrecy required, what is the privacy level required, is it containing any PII, that is personally identifiable information. It is necessary to protect that data from legal and regulatory point of view. Isolation. Keep the data isolated in a separate environment. And these are few aspects of confidentiality. Data encryption. Encrypt the data when the data is at rest, means when no one is using the data, or the data is in transit, when you are transferring the data from source to destination. You may be backing up your data to your DR center, or you may be sending it through email, or you may be transferring it using protocol like FTP. The data should be encrypted. Data classification. Data should be classified. It is generally classified on the scale of 0 to 5. 0 means least important data. Means in simple term, even if you delete that data, organization will not face any challenges. And highest level of classification, level 5. It means if that data is deleted and you do not have a copy of that data, then organization will lead to major challenges. Strict access control. We have discussed it earlier. In technical terminology, it is called as least privileges. Rigorous authentication procedures. Credentials means user ID and password is necessary but not sufficient. So you need to implement multi-factor authentication. Along with your credentials, you need to have OTP or biometric authentication or both. DLP, data leakage prevention. You may mention restricted words and integrate the DLP with your email solution, so that if any email or if any attachment contains any of the restricted keywords, then that email will not be sent. So DLP is a powerful tool. Effective training for personnel. No matter how your technical controls are strict and implemented in best way, still human is the weakest link in the information security. If people do not know importance of it, if people do not know how to handle data, then it will lead to some breaches. Confidentiality will be compromised. So training for personnel is very important. So hope you have understood confidentiality. Confidentiality means secrecy. So these are the controls: encryption, data classification, 6 strict access control, rigorous authentication procedures, DLP and effective training are controls to ensure confidentiality. Then integrity. Integrity is the concept of protecting the reliability and correctness of data. So no matter whether the data is at rest, data is in use, or data is in transit, means data is in motion, no matter in which state the data is, it should be protected against unplanned, unintended alteration. So if I am sending email from my mailbox to your mailbox, and some hacker is there in between, that person may hack the email, may change contents of the email, and then that person will resend it. So integrity will be compromised. What is integrity? Unplanned, unintended, unauthorized alteration to data. If unauthorized person is making any change, integrity is violated. If authorized person is making any unintentional alteration to data, then that is also integrity violation. Integrity protection prevents against unauthorized alteration of data. Attacks which violate integrity include viruses. Virus attack will make your data corrupt. So that is unplanned, unintended, unauthorized alteration to data. Unauthorized access. If any unauthorized user has got access to your system, your data, it means your integrity has been compromised. Malicious modifications means integrity has been compromised. Unintentional alteration, system backdoors, human errors. As we have seen earlier, human is the weakest link, and training is necessary so that errors will be avoided. You have all required security controls in place, technical controls. You have firewalls, you have antivirus, you have IDS, IPS, NIPS, you have load balancers, you have hardened your operating system, you have everything, you have DLP. But if you have not configured it as per the best practice recommendations, then it will create vulnerability, and threat will exploit that vulnerability to create an impact, so which is the risk. So misconfigured security controls will lead to integrity issues. Countermeasures against integrity attacks include strict access control, rigorous authentication procedures, data encryption. See, we have seen this during confidentiality also. So access control will help you to protect your confidentiality. Rigorous authentication procedures will protect your data to meet its confidentiality. And same for integrity, strict access control as well as rigorous authentication procedures. Data encryption, it will protect the integrity, hash verifications, and extensive personnel training. Confidentiality and integrity depend on each other. And no wonder the countermeasures are common in both the concepts, confidentiality as well as integrity. Integrity is dependent on confidentiality and access control. There are technical terms we are seeing on all these slides. What is encryption? What is hash verification? There are other terminologies also. Least privileges, access control, authentication procedures. So what is that? So please watch my videos on the channel Cyber Security Expert. Now let's discuss about the last triad of availability, last triad of CI, that is availability. So data should be confidential, data should be integrity should be there, and data should be available. So availability means the data should be accessible to authorized users whenever they need to access it. So availability means authorized users get timely and uninterrupted access to data. That is availability. Attacks on availability include device failure. You have all accurate and up-to-date data stored on a server, but you have only one server and that server fails. Maybe hard disk corrupt. So you have lost the data. So data is not available. So that is a risk. It is an availability issue. You need to ensure availability of data. So what should you do? You should have redundancy. You need to have a high availability. You need to take backup of your data. If data is highly critical and sensitive, then you need to take multiple copies of data and keep that backup data at geographically distant locations. Minimum 500 kilometers distance should be there from your two facilities, maybe data center and disaster recovery center. So attacks on availability include device failure, software errors. If software contains error, then it will impact your availability. Environmental issues, for example heat, flood, power loss, etc. Ideal temperature for IT systems to work properly is 18 degrees centigrade to 25 degrees centigrade. If temperature is not in this range, then it may cause some physical damage to your hardware and the data residing on the hardware may be lost. Flood, power loss, earthquake, all these may lead to deletion of data. So your availability will be impacted. So what are countermeasures against it? Countermeasures against availability include effective access control. Again, grant access for only authorized people, only for minimal time and bare minimal level, read, write, admin, depending on type of work. So it will reduce the risk of unauthorized deletion of data. Performance and network utilization monitoring. So you need to have monitoring tool implemented. All critical devices, data and links should be monitored properly. So that if, say for example, storage utilization is more than 90%, then after some time it will reach 100% and you will not have any free space available and the data will not get stored and data will be deleted and you will have availability issues. Implementing firewalls. Implement firewalls so that it will not allow any unauthorized traffic to enter into the system. It will protect your data. Implementing redundancy for ideally for all devices, but must be at least for critical devices. So implement redundancy. Multiple devices should be running in redundancy mode, high availability mode, so that if one device fails, the second device will take care of it. Your service will be available, your data will be available. Taking backup of data, we have already discussed. Depending on the criticality and sensitivity of the data, define frequency of the backup. Whether you want to take daily backup or 4-hourly backup or ongoing backup, but you need to invest accordingly. You need to purchase backup tools, licenses. You need to have that much storage. You need to have redundant facilities, data center, DR center. You need to have tested and approved BCP and DR procedures. BCP, business continuity planning, and DR, it stands for disaster recovery. So you need to have updated, approved and tested BCP DR procedures. So if you want to know more about any of these topics, then please watch my video on the YouTube channel Cyber Security Expert. And if you like the video, if you find it useful, then please like the video and please subscribe the channel. Availability depends on both confidentiality and integrity. So what is opposite of CIA? What is opposite of confidentiality, integrity and availability? So opposite of CIA is DAD, means disclosure, alteration and destruction. So if confidentiality is compromised, it will result in disclosure, unauthorized disclosure of data to unauthorized person. If integrity is compromised, then it will result in unplanned, unintentional, unauthorized alteration to data. And opposite of availability is destruction. For whatever reason the data has been destructed, either someone has intentionally or unintentionally deleted it, or the device has failed and unfortunately you do not have backup of the data, or backup has also been corrupted. For whatever reason the data is not available. So opposite of availability is destruction. So we have seen what is definition of security, what is security triad, that is confidentiality, integrity and availability. We have seen what is DAD, that is disclosure, alteration and destruction. And hope you have found this video useful. So please like the video and subscribe the channel Cyber Security Expert. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thanks.